Productions, and today we're going to be doing reading number 2. And first, I always like to do my smudging before we start, so let's do that. And for those who have never smudged before, I do this to remove any negative entities or energies before I start any type of work, especially working in AI. So I am lighting some sage, white sage, and you can also use wood, Palo Santo wood. And I clear the energy field, and then I set our intentions. Any negative energies or entities in this room, in this home, within all my guest viewers' homes, and in their AI devices, all negative entities and energies have to leave and go into the light and go to their family. You have been tricked and you have been deceived, and it is time to set your soul free. So you may now leave and go be with your family who loves and who loves you, and they've been waiting for you for your return. And so it is. My intention today is to give you accurate information. I am reading from the Ascension Glossary by Lisa Renee and Voyagers book by Ashayana. And may this reading be filled with enlightenment, love, and questions. And feel free to post your questions. And with that, so it is, and I love you. Okay. My dogs are here, so if you hear any noise, barking, and what have you, that is because they are here. And we have Enzo. We just had a session, a healing session, on our PEMF mat, which is phenomenal. And he's still on it. He loves it. But it's not on right now. We just had 25 minutes. Hello again. Okay, so I have to do some editing here because my first live stream after I did the smudging had an error. So this will be a little fun project for me to continue on adding how to edit. So, all right, so let's move on. This is going to be a long video, and I recommend grabbing your water and enjoy. It's complicated. I tried my hardest to comprehend everything, and my guides are helping me. So I want to say thank you to my guides. I have a lot of them, and you'll be seeing the drawings soon of who's around me. There's a lot, and so hopefully I'll be getting that soon, and it comes with explanations and history. Amazing information. I just have had a wealth of information come to me from Christy Peoples, and you guys have to have a spirit tracing done. She will be on my website. And so I'm going to start the reading with Starseed information because I failed to do that in the first video. For people that don't know what a starseed is, people that are just coming in and learning about Ascension and starseeds and what are they, I'm going to explain what they are in the Ascension Glossary. So, and if they leave something out and I have the information, then I will add it after I'm done reading from the glossary. During this end evolution cycle that leads into the current ascension timeline, many different variations of soul spirit consciousness from a vast array of planets, galaxies, and universes have joined the reincarnation cycle on 3D planet Earth. Some are biologically organic, future humans, while others are not. yet all have come in order to experience the shifting consciousness fields on the 3D planet Earth at this end cycle. These particular groups of soul spirit beings that have incarnated in a 3D human body referred to as starseeds. Even though starseeds hold more genetic memory from these future stations of identity, all is one and valued in its connection to the eternal source creator. Starseeds have a specific role and a humanitarian, spiritually mission based of the law of one to help free the planetary soul from spiritual and energetic oppression enforced by the NAA. For those of you who don't know what NAA is, the negative alien agenda, through the false father God religions. And this is to elevate and change destructive timelines through genetic rehabilitation and erase negative alien mind control software programs. These software programs, quote, religions, were put in place by the patriarchal, dominant, and negative aliens in order to be worshipped as gods and easily enforce the enslavement of the planetary population. Starseeds enter this planetary consciousness body to experience reincarnation and activate their spiritual mission for a wide variety of reasons and interests. The primary goal was to reestablish the potential freedom from forced reincarnation through the restoration of the cosmic sovereign law of one, through the reclamation of the Christos body crystal template. In order to do so, the negative alien agenda of planetary domination, enslavement, hybridization, and abduction would have to be eventually revealed to humanity. And we're seeing that right now. A lot of disclosure is coming out. However, the extraterrestrial agenda and the history of extraterrestrial genetic influence in both everyday human events and the many historical records have been extinguished in every way possible. Both benevolent and malevolent extraterrestrials have been involved with this planet for millions of years, and they have never left this planet. This was known on planet at least this was known on planet until the last 5,500 years, when most of this knowledge and its written history were destroyed. And you can see this through the galactic wars in the glossary. Only the reptilian bloodline manipulated humans were given this knowledge in secret to maintain their position for power and control. They are ultimately puppets for off-planet controllers that sold out the human race. History is rewritten by the victor of war, and hence the real extraterrestrial agenda is hidden, while a false record of human history is put in its place. Many starseeds were aware of the psycho-spiritual warfare between extraterrestrial races and came to this planet embodied human intelligence portals to feed back to overall group efforts in its reconnaissance mission back to their home planet or universe. However, when most got here, they were subject to many alien implant mind control systems, dark force infiltration, and victimizers software, like all human beings. For those reasons, many still remain asleep and subverted to the fact of their real spiritual mission and consciousness. Okay, you guys, so this is why when you get so frustrated at people not waking up, there it's not their fault. They're victims still. So we have to come at this with love, kindness, and compassion. And when those systems start to fall out, they will wake up, and that's when we're here for them. Okay. And I have a problem. Yes, I do. When people say I told you so, that is ego based. I'm so sorry to say. And yes, we all want to be right in this, and we are right. But again, we have to go at it with love, kindness, and compassion. And saying I told you so is not through love, kindness, and compassion. That's through your ego that you're right and they were wrong. And it's not their fault. They're victims, like we have been victims, like everybody else has been victims. Okay. So I hope this has resonates, and we can go at it at a different angle and see things in a different perspective, because if you can't, If you can't, at least, at least just be there for them. Okay. And just try to let that go and try to work on yourself, because we're trying to demolish this ego. You can't take it with you. It weighs too much. Okay. Um, I'm going to continue on. However, it has been generally understood that during the end cycle of the neutron window is opening between this third dimensional planet Earth, which intersects with the universal transharmonic gateways. I like the universal transharmonic gateways. Um, that's how we get around in these gateways, you guys. Okay, the transgate timelines are that which allow these star seeds to reconnect to return to their home frequency after the tour duty. This is how we're going to be traveling through these gateways. And yes, we are on a tour duty, and yes, we are going back. For star seeds, this lifetime is a recon mission. They're coming back for us. We're going back. That was required to gather the intel required to comprehend the levels of genetic damage, the source of planetary invasion, the identity of the main intruder race, and an attempt to offer sovereignty and freedom to the souls which had been enslaved, abused, and entrapped. My dogs are snoring, so I'm sorry if you hear snoring. Um, he's passed out. Any attempt to offer sovereignty and freedom to those souls which have been enslaved, abused, and entrapped in repeated reincarnation cycles. Okay. So I'm going to reread that because I got sidetracked. For starseeds, this lifetime is a recon mission that was required to gather the intel required to comprehend the levels of genetic damage, the source of planetary invasion, the identity of the main intruder races, and attempt to offer sovereign and freedom to the souls which had been enslaved, abused, and entrapped in repeated reincarnation cycles. One of the primary issues is the horrifying violation of human soul from negative alien abductions, satanic ritual abuse, which is SRA, that's what the initial is, soul body siphoning, sexually mutilation, cloning replicant bodies, and using living human bodies, sperm and ovum, to genetically farm human and ET hybrid bodies. They do this, they would take over the eggs and the sperm, and they also sometimes implant them into the victim, and then they'll re-abduct them and then take that child out. And our bodies hold on to that memory, even though you may have your memory swiped, your body remembers this. So many star seeds have come to this planet to research, collect intel, to source hybridization agendas, and observe the alien abduction and contactee phenomenon on planet. In most all the cases, that direct abduction or a contact experience is required in order to collect the information and return it back through the neutron window to the guardian crystal host races. The crystal star family is a guardian race that has intervened with this planet to help heal, free the soul entrapment and bodily imprisoned with the negative alien agenda, and have extracted upon the human population of Earth. And then I'm going to go to Earth seeds and star seeds because they're different. I would like you to understand this. In the Earth human lineage, there were 7 root races and 5 additional races seeded within the Earth gene pool. The 7 root races are called Earth seeds. Each Earth seed root race evolution cycle was to develop one of the first 5 strands of DNA within the 12-strand DNA original divine human blueprint. The latter additional 5 races are referred to as the cluster races. Their function was to keep the 12-strand DNA potential alive for entire human race and represent the advancement of human evolution. The cloister races are also called the Starseeds. So the Earthseeds were a part of the planetary evolution cycle to activate DNA strands 1 through 5 and then anchor in each new respective level of dimensional experience for the human species on Earth. And the Starseeds were a part of the planetary evolution cycle to hold the dormant DNA strands of 7 through 12 in order to have the template of the divine human intact through the cycles of evolution. It keeps the potential of the divine human true spiritual inheritance as a 12-strand DNA avatar possible. Each strand of DNA, when activated, correlates to the dimensional field of the awareness available to the soul when incarnated in the human physical body. Okay, because you'll need that information for when we talk about the Kathara. Each strand of DNA, when activated, correlates to the dimensional field of awareness available to the soul incarnated in the human physical body. Throughout the course of human history, there has been additional genetic material contributed from various star families, creating large varieties of star seeds on Earth. Further hybridization and genetic enhancements resulted in a perfect prototype intended as a seed race for humanity. The perfected genetic code created through this hybridization is referred to as the indigo grail lineage, okay? This indigo grail lineage holds the DNA designed to transmute entirely out of biological form and or hold simultaneously 12 dimensional awareness within a biological form. These indigo grail lines are primary grail lines of the Christ grail lines among the human races. Absolutely all human biology have the potential to receive genetic acceleration, evolutionary advancement that will allow the 12-strand DNA template to regenerate. This is one of the major purposes of the indigo grail lines, to regenerate an active, dormant, or damaged DNA templates in the human race. And remember, with the indigos, there's 3 different types, okay? All right, so in here, it also talks about various incarnation agreements, Starseed template, RH negative blood, indigos, walk-ins, lightworkers, Starseed targeting. And I'm not going to read them all, but the link will be in the description below. Now we're going to talk about the Fibonacci sequence. In my opening video, it shows the timelines, and the Fibonacci is part of Metatron, that is a fallen consciousness that fell. And this will explain a little bit about that. So in mathematics, the Fibonacci numbers or the Fibonacci sequence are the numbers in the following integer sequence. It's 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 1, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. The Fibonacci spiral, an approximate of the golden spiral created by drawing circular arcs connecting the opposite corners of the sequence, connecting to the opposite corners of squares in the Fibonacci tilling. This one uses squares of size 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and 34. I'm going to show it to you. This is the first square. I don't know if you'll see it, be able to see it with the light. There it is. This is the first square right there. You guys probably have seen this before. So now I'm going to read about this. Tilt my phone so you can see it. The second one, I'm going to read that one now. If we sum squares of any series of Fibonacci numbers, they will equal the last Fibonacci number used in the series times the next Fibonacci number. This property results in the Fibonacci spiral based on the following progression and properties of the Fibonacci series. The Fibonacci spiral gets closer and closer to a golden spiral as it increases in size because of the ratio of each number in the Fibonacci series to the one before it converges on pi, 1.618, as a series progresses. Beginning with 0 and then 1, it then moves on to the next number, such as 0 plus 1 equals 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and so on. When we apply this mathematical formula to quantify or measure the movement of energy or consciousness within time or space, the Fibonacci spiral loses its connection going back to 0 point or source. Instead, the sequence uses the previous number to add into itself to get the next higher number of the sequence. The Fibonacci spiral illustrates the math used to perpetuate the war over energy. Therefore, the consciousness suppression on the earth, as when the sequence grows in the number or size, it is due to the consumption of the previous values in order to grow itself larger. The larger it gets, the more it progressively moves out and away from the crystal spiral of the original core manifestation body or divine template body as it expands. Therefore, the Fibonacci spiral is a model of metatronic reversal in the consciousness fields that ultimately attach like a parasite to a living host, collecting waste products such as accumulating toxic miasma fields, which form into the Kalapath or adverse Sephiroth in the phantom matrix to infect the universal tree of life. The Fibonacci spiral sequence emerges from a point of attachment, which is parasitic in action, to attach itself to living form, consuming everything in its path, to which it progressively loses contact when it continually expands itself. It grows and expands in its consciousness through the consumption and eventual annihilation of that which it had attached itself to and had extended previously. This is what quantifies the action of a fallen race or species such as Black Sun's regressive or the Belial groups. Okay, so, and it continues on into it goes into the, I don't know, you can read it yourself, but then it talks about, let's talk about the crystal spiral. The link's going to be there, so you guys can do the research as well. The opposite of the Fibonacci spiral is the crystal spiral. The original organic crystal spiral is created from the math included in humanity's organic core manifestation body and is represented in the 12-tree grid and the diamond sun DNA. The crystal architecture is self-perpetuating and inner-sustaining. Its math is represented by including 0 point or 0 in its numerical sequence 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. Though doubling each numerical value. Each of the numerical values is derived through returning to 0 and adding all the numbers together to get the next highest value in its sequence. The value 0 represents a central point of union or a 0 point God source. While increasing the values of the crystal spiral, the consciousness remains connected to the original source field while progressively expanding. Anyone who thinks we're lunatics, I've lost friends over this. They call me crazy because I said the Metatron fell, and so this is a mathematical equation. You cannot veer off of it. It is legit, and if you think otherwise, I really think you need to have your ego in check because you need to take a math class. I don't even have to know math because I know it in my core how it feels. It vibrates to me. It's legit. It's so because this is math. There it is. People figured it out. And all these content providers and all these people that are promoting meditation with fallen angels in their meditations and the spiral day, the daisy of death, the beautiful sacred geometry of flowers that lead you to nowhere but into chaos. They lead you into a cube of chaos. They don't lead you off of the path into the crystal. It doesn't get you to God's source. It keeps you spiraling. And we want to go into God's source and stay connected to God. All right. There you have it. Now, oh my gosh, this one's going to take forever. And we're 22 minutes in. So, here we go. All right. We're going to go into the Tree of Life. You guys have seen this before. Whoops. It's hard to show you with the glare. Can you see it? Can you see it? Oh, I'm turning it the wrong way because I can't. There we go. Okay. Here is the 12 degree grid. This is level 1 of the light body. It's the architecture of our multi-dimensional consciousness orientation. You guys, this is within us. We have the Kathara grid within us. The left side operates the left side of our body. The right side is our right side of our body. Okay. In the center, we have it's a chakra system. This is part of the chakra system. And, so before I go into the glossary, I'm going to switch gears and go into the Voyagers book because I studied it last night. Okay, here we go. And then I can pull out these charts so you can see. Because I want to talk about these chakras. I think this is really important to know about our 15 chakras and the 15 crystal seals. So you can have an understanding. Okay. So what you must know is what stellar spiral carry what frequency, and when the spiral aligns with Earth, making those frequencies available. I'm going to repeat that. What stellar spirals carry what frequency, and when the spiral aligns with Earth, making those frequencies available. That's A. B, where your higher and lower chakras, okay, higher chakras and lower chakras within us, and then there's chakras below, and star crystal seals are located, and what frequency each chakra can draw in, and how the chakras correspond to the star crystal seals you need to activate. The in body, 1 through 7, our 7 chakras, corresponds to frequency bands of dimension 1 through 7. I'm going to show you. You guys, if you pull this map up, you'll see 1 is, here we go. Hopefully you can see this. 1, 2, whoops, sorry. It's harder. 2, 3, 4, 4, 1. So we got 1, 2, 1, 2. This is so hard. Okay, so 1, 2 is right in the bottom in this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's in that. That's your 7 chakras in the Kathara. This is really going to be hard to show you. I'm going to pull out a chart. You guys all pretty much know where the chakras are, the 7 chakras, I think. You can just pull it up on your phone right now if you want to. So 1 through 7 corresponds to the frequency bands of the dimensions 1 through 7. The higher dimensional chakras that corresponds to dimensions 9 through 15 are called morphogenic chakras. Those are your higher ones, okay? And those are up in the higher region. That's where in the Kathara grid, that's where the higher areas are your morphogenic chakras. And as they open into and draw energy from the morphogenic fields of dimensions 1 through 7, which are corresponding located in dimensions 9 through 14. So your chakras are connected to interdimensional travel. And that's part of how you create your Merkaba field, okay? So this is also takes us back why it's really, really important to work on yourself and clear blockages of your chakras. Because if you don't clear blockages, you're not going to be able to do activate seals and to do interdimensional travel. So the lower dimensions and chakras are linked to the higher dimensions and morphogenic chakras through the meta-galactic core at D8. D8, right there, D8. And that's the eighth chakra. The activated eighth chakra allows you to draw frequency from the morphogenic chakras down into the lower chakra centers. Okay. I'll repeat this. Dimension 9 through 15 are called morphogenic chakras. And they open into and draw energy from the morphogenic fields of dimension 1 through 7. Those energies are drawn through our inside chakras, 1 through 7. Okay, so at D8, okay, so the activated eighth chakra allows you to draw frequency from the morphogenic chakras down into the lower chakra centers. To activate certain star crystal seals, you will open the morphogenic chakras that corresponds to the lower chakras with which the seal is associated, and then draw frequencies from the morphogenic chakra into the star crystal seal. There's a lot of activating going on with chakras and your crystal seals and the morphogenic chakras. It's not difficult to do once you understand the correspondence between the lower chakras and their star crystal seals and the morphogenetic chakras. And so she provided the following charts. And I'm going to go over these charts with you. And you can Google this and it will come up. It's out there. So the Ascension cycle dynamics at a glance and the blow up chart. Okay, so we have, that's just, I'm going to pull these out. Good thing they're numbered. I don't think I could find the location for this. I write all over my notes. Okay. The red star. I'm going to show you where the red star is. Red star is S1. Okay. And it's at the base of the spine. They make this charts, they make it really easy. Okay. So I was having, it's right here. I'm going to show this to you. And it's right there, the base of the spine. That's called the red star. That the star crystal seal is called red star. It's in the base of the spine. That has been activated. At least it has been for me, because last year I had terrible base of my spine pain, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was one of my when I was pregnant, I had sciatic nerve pain, really terrible. I couldn't even walk. I was on bed rest. And I thought maybe it was due to that, or I had lost some weight and the fluctuating of my bones adjusting. But no, this really was an activation of the star crystal seal. And that dimension frequency is D1 through D15, and that chakra is 1 and 15. So if you want to write it down, you can. The morphogenic chakra is 15. The fire code DNA strand is 1, and the seed crystal seal again is D1 and D15. Spine right there. Okay. Now the orange star, which is located in the reproductive system, D1 and D2. I should get my glasses. I don't have them with me, my readers. Oh, that will change one day. D1, It's not even on here. No wonder I can't find it. D1 and D2. It is in the reproductive system. So let's see. I can see it. Well, we all know where the reproductive system is, right? Okay, so we can just move on with that. The fire code for that is 1 and 2, and the seed crystal seals are D1 and D2. So I'm seeing the correlation here. I'm still learning some of this too, you guys, so bear with me. Okay, the yellow star is below the navel, and that dimensional frequency is D2 and D3, and it's chakra 2 and 3. And its morphogenic chakra is 14 and 13. The fire code is 2 and 3, and it's in, I don't even see the D on here. Okay, so they're not they're not showing me the D. But what I did just notice, I will tell you on the other page, it tells me the actual planet. So I will do that because I'm going to correlate the two together here. Let's go back with D. D1. Hold on. Grab your water. See, I'm putting things together as I talk, thanks to my glorious guides here, but I can't find some of the information. It's really complicated, you guys, so I apologize. I know you know it's complicated. Okay, we're going to just skip over this because I cannot find the D1, but I see D4. So let's do D4. D4 is the heart star, which is chakra 4. These give us the dates it was activated. That was activated in 2000 and through 2022 to the general population. Star crystal seals activates. It talks about the heart chakra, releases the crystal star, the orange star opens, strand 4 DNA, the fire code. I'm not going to keep reading all this, but this book, which you have to get, it tells you exactly when it started. A lot of these, like D5, which D5 is indigo star seal. And that's between chakra 4 and 5 in the 8th chakra. And that's Palladian. So that says it's your soul seat activation. It's Palladian and Alcyon. You know, that star Alcyon, it's in the Milky Way galaxy. It's getting closer it's getting pulled in. We're getting pulled into the Alcyon star. And that was activated through 2004 through 2022. And that one is the indigo star crystal. So I think that's pretty interesting that it's connected. And that's part of the ascension here. Anyways, this is what the page looks like. You can, when you get the book, you can go in there. This is going to tell you where the chakras are, okay? And it also tells you where galactic, at the Earth core, where it's connected. Now, we have these aurora. We have these fields. We have one going around our body, an aura. You've heard of an aura. They call it an AURA, aura. And our one closest to us extends 3 feet to several 3 feet. Maybe it's 3 inches. I can't see because I don't have my glasses. Sorry, you guys. I think, anyways, to several yards. I think it's 3 inches. That's okay. So I think that's what it is. And our outer aura extends outward into Earth's atmosphere. So they know our auras, you guys. This is how they also read our vibration. It extends all the way above our outer chakras. Okay. So I'm gonna read to you about that real quick. And I'm gonna also read about the star crystal seals real quick here. Star crystal seals keep human morph field and identity dimensionally separated by controlling the angle of the dimensional Merkaba field axis in relation to the universal Merkaba fields, regulates the angular rotation of particle spin between dimensions, corresponds to fire codes, activation codes between DNA strands. So these crystal seals and our activations are part of these particle spins that will activate your Merkaba. This is all going into activations so you can get your Merkaba spinning. Your Merkaba is what allows you to travel interdimensionally. Okay. It's that Star of David above, and it spins, and you can envision it. There's things you can do, visions that you can do, and envision the Merkaba going through you. So the 3 universal Merkaba fields link to 12-dimensional human morph field to planetary, galactic, and universal morph fields. So A, universal Merkaba, B, galactic Merkaba, and planetary Merkaba. And those are in your, let's see. It's in your 14th and 15th MCs. So it is in those MCs where the Merkabas are. The universal Merkaba MC is 14. Okay. So that would be, I'm going to show you. That's above your head right here. MC 14 is above your head. Okay. And that's your universal Merkaba. The galactic Merkaba is, I'm sorry, the universal Merkaba is 14 and 15. So you got it above and below. Okay. You have the Merkaba above. That's 14 and 15 is universal Merkaba. B, galactic Merkaba, is a MC 11 and 15. Okay. So 11 is the next chakra right above your head. And then the 13C is the next one. It's the second one before the head. So, okay, so your universal Merkaba field, you know how there's 3 above and 3 below? The universal one is the top one and the bottom one below your feet. The the galactic Merkaba is the one right below it and right above it above your feet, before your feet. And then the planetary one is the next one right above your head and right before your feet, because there's 3. And so we're going in order 1, 2, 3, and then you have your feet, and we're going up 1, 2, 3. Those ones are your universal, galactic, and planetary Merkaba fields. Okay. Those are the outer chakras. I hope you understood that. Energy flow. So MC 18 through 15, which would be your thymus, galactic 1, galactic 2, Earth star, Earth core, universal 1, and universal 2. I can take a picture and post this as well. If you guys want to see it. I think I did. I posted on all social media anyways. MC 8 through 15 draw energy from the universal unified field and dimensional unified fields 8 through 15, and through the universal Merkaba fields into the 8 outer auric levels via the morphogenic seed crystal seals MC 8 through 15. CS 1 through 7, which is your inner, draw energy from the dimensional unified fields 1 through 7 from corresponding MCs 8 through 15 and into the 7 inner auric levels via seed crystals seals in C7 1 through 7. Once in the seed crystal, the tonal pattern of the incoming energy manifests itself in the DNA blueprint, enters the dimensional Merkaba fields and dimensional auric capsules of the body. The energy is then drawn in through the lower C's. The lower C's, okay, that's your 7 primary chakras, into the natal capsule and nadis channels to link the nervous system. Energy passes through the nervous system into the endocrine system, which is blood cellular structure, and manifest form. Biological form is created and sustained through its continual process of energy flow from the multidimensional unified field. Can that get more complicated for you? Do you guys understand this? I started to last night. Okay, so I'm getting epiphanies. I'm understanding it. I know it's complex, and if you had this chart, it would be much easier. So I will. You guys can also message me for this. But it's, if you're connected to me on Twitter, if you're connected to me on Facebook, then you will be able to find this, and also on YouTube. I'm permanently banned for the second time from TikTok. So I'm not going to open another account there. I'm done with that malarkey. Okay, so crystal seals. I was talking to you. Originally, I started talking to you about the crystal seals and assembling. But it's really hard to explain when you don't have can't see the chart. But I do want to talk about, let's see. I wanted to explain a few things on this. This is called this is the Ascension cycle. This is what this one looks like, okay? So you can have a frame of reference. By using chakras that correspond, again, to the star crystal seals to draw frequency from the stellar spirals during stellar activations, star crystal seals open and activate DNA fire codes, and this allows for progressive transmutation of cellular structure and time travel. This is how we're going to travel, you guys. So it's so cool. Okay. So cool. There are 3 additional star crystal seals and 3 additional seed crystal seals that control the morphogenic Merkaba fields of dimensions 13 through 15. These frequency patterns and light spectra do not manifest within the 12-strand DNA human genetic code. I'm going to repeat that, okay? There are 3 additional star crystal seals and 3 additional seed crystal seals that control the morphogenic Merkaba fields of dimensions 13 through 15. These frequency patterns and light spectra do not manifest within the 12-strand DNA human genetic code. These seals are affiliated with evolution of pure consciousness beyond the expression of matter-based form. Seed crystal seals control the pulsation rate of particles within each dimensional band and the speed at which dimensional Merkaba fields rotate. When seed crystals release the magnetic particle-based codes and electrical antiparticle activation codes within one DNA strand fuse, forming blood crystals that begin preparing the body for metabolic acceleration and cellular transmutation. That's what happens when you start creating your Merkaba. The speed of corresponding Merkaba fields increases, preparing the particles of corresponding dimensional body level for transfer into the next harmonic universe. So cool. Star crystal seals control the angle of the dimensional Merkaba fields, axis and angular rotation of particle spin within the dimensional unified fields. When star crystal seals activate via stellar spiral frequency infusion, the corresponding seed crystal seal below releases. the corresponding dimensional Merkaba field axis aligns with one above, and the particles in the corresponding dimension shift angular rotation of spin to that of the dimension above. The activation fire codes of the DNA activate and allow DNA strands to plug into each other, which causes the blood crystals group and further acceleration the metabolic rate, allowing corresponding particles of Q1 to the blood crystal group and further accelerates the metabolic, I already read that, Q1 to merge with those of the corresponding dimensions of Q2. Through this process, DNA strand assemble and activate the morphogenic accretion level rises. Q1 dimensional Merkaba fields merge with those of Q2, and the physical body transmutes into the time continuum of the next highest harmonic universe. The Merkaba is based, I wrote this, based, so I had a reminder. The Merkaba is based on consciousness star over the head. Okay, now I'm going to go back into the Ascension glossary. I'm going to put my papers back so I don't lose them because these are very important. They're coming with me to, Sedona. Yeah, they're coming to, I wonder why, huh? I don't know. Maybe I'll make a Merkaba in Sedona and have it on film. Wouldn't that be something if that actually happened? Well, you know what? There is this thing called quantum, you guys, and thoughts are the electrical energy into the quantum field. And the feeling is the magnet that draws the thought in and creates an event. So, if I want to create this Merkaba, I'm acting as if I already have, because you guys already know we've done this before. So I already have done this. I just don't remember, but I am remembering now. And I'm hoping I'm going to make it happen. Okay. And I'm going to have proof. Okay. Crossing fingers and toes. That's probably correct too, right? Okay. So, the DNA strands will activate only if strands below have been fully assembled and activated. So in 2017, there was a 3-day particle conversion period, and Earth's particles and populations separate into different time tracks. And in 2022, there was mass ascension cycle ends. So it was BT or OT based on, so that's BT is base tone or OT is overtone frequencies, okay? So you guys, this has happened, and I'm gonna tell you the activation dates, okay? So activation, it was D4 solar blue wave, which was D5 and D6 frequency. And that happened, the D4 solar happened in 2000 through 2004. And then it was available, and that was Earth. And then it was available to Earth populations in 2000 and 2004 plus. Okay, so then we have the D5 Palladian that was activated in 2004 and 2008 for Earth. And it was in other populations in 2004 through 2012 continuing. And then there was that was the violet wave. Okay, so the blue wave, if you recall the blue wave, that was the first, the blue wave was the first sound frequency. Okay, the blue ray. I discussed it in the first video. The violet wave we haven't even discussed yet. That's the third sound that came through. And now the golden wave was the second sound wave of creation. And that was from 2008 from 2012. And it was also 2008 through 2017. So it goes on into the silver wave, the blue black liquid light wave, the silver black liquid light wave. So this is in 2017 there was a 3-day particle conversion period. And so this already happened, you guys. These activations have already happened. And so we're just if once you start, remember it said once we're awake and you start clearing things, since it's already came, it's waiting for you to wake up even more and to get your things activated. It's like waiting for us. That's what I think. So this is, I want to read about the stellar spiral alignment schedule. And that already happened as well. Stellar spirals represent the multidimensional Merkaba field sets of counter-rotating electromagnetic field through which Earth's Merkaba fields are connected to the 15th dimensional frequency bands of the universal matrix. The dimensional stellar Merkaba fields run as spiral bands of electromagnetic frequency through various intergalactic star systems, each carrying the frequency bands characterized to its dimension. So it knows your frequency. They know our frequency. They know where we are in the cycle as well. So during the second ascension cycle, at the beginning, at the end of 26,556th year of harmonic universe Urago time cycle, the rotation axis of the stellar spiral comes into direct vertical alignment with each other, and this alignment allows an infusion of the UHF energies. That's light, sound, electromagnetic, and scalar wave spectrum. Remember, we are scalar wave. Our body produces that from the highest dimensions. So the metagalactic core and the galactic core morphogenic field to move through the frequency bands, star systems and planets of the lower dimensions. So stellar activations, wave infusions, and particle transmutation takes place as a result of combining higher and lower dimensional frequency bands via the stellar spiral Merkaba fields. Raising your vibration, you can see how important it is, okay? Anything you're watching to lower and not helping your body rise in frequency, you're doing a disservice to yourself. If you want to, unless you don't want to do this, okay? But if you want to do it, then this is, there's things you have to do. So otherwise, I don't think it's gonna, you're really gonna ascend if you don't. I mean, we are here to teach you, to help you so you can ascend, because there's greater missions for each and every one of you. The vertical alignment of stellar spiral Merkaba fields is called the stellar bridge. The stellar bridge represents a literal spiraling pathway of multidimensional frequency. And if the particle pulsation, rhythm, vibration of planet's core is high enough, when the planetary Merkaba fields come into vertical alignment with the stellar spiral, and the stellar spiral bridge is able to ground its energies into the particle base of the planet. If the stellar bridge is grounded successfully, a stellar activations and wave infusion cycles commences upon the planet, through which temporary time accelerations and advancement of evolutionary process takes place. Earth will experience its first, it already happened, its first stellar activation cycle, 210,216 years between 2000 and 2017. It's already happened. The people that are not waking up, they're not activated because they're mind controlled with an alien AI. That's why. Okay. Then they have in this book field techniques and exercises to release crystallized thought patterns from the DNA and cellular memory. So it talks about what to do so you can start doing some activation work. This is really long. Guys, it's almost an hour. I still need to read another thing here. I know it's complicated. The more you read it, the more it absorbs. It's very hard for us because we're such linear thinkers. I like plant medicines. I'm not promoting it, but I do have to tell you, and I don't do it very often, but I think the only way for me to even comprehend this was when I do a plant medicine. It takes me out of linear thought. I'm not saying go rush out and do, THC or have a gummy. Maybe even CBD would help your mind thought. Even lion's mane with cognitive thinking might help, okay? But for me personally, I have to ask my guides if I can even do it, because there's times where I'm going to be getting downloads and information and I need to be, aware and not in that mode. But they will tell me, yes, we need you to understand this. And if this helps you, yes, it was created from it's not for me, it's not bad. If I kept doing it as in habitual use, yes, then it is. But I use it for educational purposes. How's that? Okay. You can do whatever you want. That's just who I am. And I have to tell you, it helps with anxiety. And man, I dance, I have fun. I don't drink. Okay. I don't drink alcohol. I just don't. It's not, used to, but I don't anymore. It doesn't serve a purpose for me. So alcohol serves no purpose for me, but this plant medicine does. So then I use it when I need to, so I can start understanding this. Because if I can understand and if I can create a Merkaba field and clear my chakras and I know how to do it, I can teach you guys how to do it. Okay. And that is my goal. All right. So now I'm gonna go into I'm gonna read in the Ascension Glossary about the 12 universal 12 grid tree, because I didn't. The core manifestation body foundation, the structure of the macrocosmic universal tree of life, is replicated within the microcosmic personal tree of life, the 12 tree grid. Individual human anatomy manifests upon within the multidimensional layers instructed by the core manifestation template. The tree of life, which is the light body architecture. Every aspect of the universal creation and life spiral are designed and instructed through these blueprint structures, learning to travel consciously through the universal tree of life is the pathway to personal sovereignty and freedom, which is GSF. I talked about GSF in the second video. Intelligence bodies create the blueprint morphogenic field of all creation. It is base 12 template and culminates in the crystal star body with cosmic Christ intelligence. 13th, 14th, and 15th are the threefold founder flames. Remember the threefold? That's the blue ray, mother, golden ray, son, and violet ray, father. So sorry, my dog wants me to play ball with him. You're going to hear him whining. So 12. Okay, so the first one is number one is the 12 spheres, 12 rays, 12 dimensions, 12 timelines, potentially 24, 12 DNA strands, 12 base tone harmonic structure, 144 subharmonics of the cosmic Christ frequency, the 12D. Beyond, honey, 12 dimensions is the three founder flame, which is the founder consciousness of our universe. Number two, 12 spherical, 5 horizontal triad bodies that hold the morphogenic fields for the mental bodies and identities. Each triad body builds the horizontal structure of the tree and the mental body, male principle. And so this is called the triad bodies, and it's built upon the 12 tree grid and rod functions. The 12 tree grid is much more important than the chakras because we can collapse the chakras into a working unified field, which is membranes between collapse, and where they are not broken off into dimensions, feeding energies back into these siphoning entities. The CCKM model, okay, what is the C, which is chakra crystal keys, crystal mapping module. In the HGC manual is about restructuring the white hole and black hole spin points that reconfigure the chakra cones and its matrix to be aligned to become compatible with the crystal star host. I know it sounds so complicated, you guys. It's all going to come back to you. I promise it will. We've done this before. So the 12D ray and the 12 tree grid is like a homing pigeon that we can attract or magnetize the parts of our spiritual body energies slash identities that need to be returned back to the rightful owner, which is the RRO, return to the rightful owner, back into original eternal God embodiment throughout the universe. The 12 tree grid is a process of spiritual body integration sequence that will at some point be overridden by the crystal host, as the double diamond sun body exists in a different configuration pattern. However, this 12D shield and 12D ray hub handshake configuration, the hub handshake, many of the galactic and planetary grid workers have been setting up vertical communications links that act as a hub handshake field to help the guardian races access the new communication links needed to become a dual communication exchange with the crystal star families on Earth. Okay, so you're going to want to click on the hub handshake. So basically, the hub handshake allows us to phone home, ET. So that is our allows us to phone home to our family of Christ here in 3D matter timelines. And this is why it's so important. That's our phone, our communication with our consciousness, with our guides. That's phone home in there too. Okay. So this is where it's important to do everything that I've already talked about, so we can, it's not the end all be all, but I think it's a really important aspect. The core manifestation template or the blueprint is what genetically expresses our DNA into matter and creates human bodies and projects hologram realities. The frequency split is delineated by what is being created organically in consciousness by what embodies and holds spirit by the vibrational quality of the mind that created it. But what dimensional laws of structure it is subjected to and by whether artificial intelligence is being used. So on the ascension path, we will be asking the question, is consciousness that created these blueprints in an organic living consciousness, or is it inorganic artificial intelligence software projecting out these holograms? We're entering a whole new world in the way types of matter are being formed. So with pure intention and pure heart, we must access crystal clear intention throughout all things that we create with God, spirit, in order to manifest from higher dimensions with personal responsibility, energetic balance. You guys, once you get to know who you are, what you do, and you're connected to your guides, you will know the difference between artificial intelligence, just like you are. When I travel, I walked into TSA, I can feel all the AI. It feels so awful. And so that you can feel it with people. Once you get more even sensitive, a lot of people already feel this already. So it's so the balance would be the physical and emotional, mental and spiritual. So this is where, improving health, releasing pain and suffering, clearing up your chakras. And so you can get activation in your kundalini. And then you go into the law of one. All right. The law of one, when I read it, I'm like, I practiced all these, so I didn't even realize that's what the law of one was. And then I realized that's what was going on, is that I already practiced it. So in this, you're going to want to read it all. Again, the link will be below. It's super, super long. This is already going over an hour. And, Yeah, I highly recommend reading all about this. It also explains also with the axle points with the tree of life, and you can see the dimensions and where each planet is. So as far are our planets really that we see in the sky, are they real? Probably, manipulated. Okay. Is Earth round? I don't know, probably. Is it a psyops that it's flat? Possibly. Does it matter? No. What matters is within us. And what also matters is stop watching the news. Stop watching. Not when I say news, I don't mean ABC, NBC, all that. I mean all the stuff you're watching, you are creating. You are not helping creating a positive timeline. You are staying on the negative. I highly recommend turning it off because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. We already know about what's going on. We already know about the trafficking. We already know about the bloodlines. We already know about Rome. We already know about Khazarians. We know about all the different levels. We know about Freemasons. We know about all the symbolism. We know already. It's an echo chamber. You guys are sending information in a damn echo chamber and it needs to stop. It makes me upset and I need to be at 0 point. It's upset because we're not, it's delaying things. Okay. Because you're manifesting what you see. So I really encourage you to knock it off and start working on yourself. Create a good foundation. Because if you don't have a good foundation, you're not going to be good for yourself and your family. You're not going to ascend. You're going to stay in the muck. Do you enjoy muck? I certainly don't. So thank you for joining. That was my little spiel on being a mom. I would say this to my kid. My kid is trying to send me information and I was the one sending him stuff and now he's sending it to me and I have to now say knock it off. He was saying knock it off to me originally and then we kind of trade spots. And so I tell him knock it off. I don't want to know the news, okay? um, I create my own world and it's so much better. It is so much better. You could call it la la land. You could call it not being in reality, but it's the reality I choose and the reality I want because I love to create and I love being in love and I love having a high vibration and it makes me happy. And I want this for you guys too, because you can be there. You have better health. You have a better flow and it's just so much better on this end. Okay, I love you all. Thank you for joining me. I hope I explained things as best as I could at this level of my knowledge, and I hope I can explain things even better as my knowledge gets even if I get once I get even more activated, I can explain things even better. But I did the best I could, and I love each and every one of you. And I'm so excited for my website to come out, you guys. And I'm so excited for you guys to see this who my guides are. They're really cool. It's so exciting. Okay, that's enough. I love you and have a great evening. Bye.